What is going on, guys? This is the Lawless Sports Podcast, episode number 8, and we got a few topics we're going over today. We have Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is right now holding out unless he will get a contract worth up to $16 million per year. Is he worth it? We're going to go over that. Not only that, but we are also going to be talking about the Black Lives Matter movement that is sweeping America, as well as plenty of other countries across the world right now, and how important it is in the world of sports and in the world of human rights right now. Not only that, though, that's also going to be going over, does Colin Kaepernick deserve a shot to be back in the NFL? Also, we're going to be going over, is Aaron Rodgers' window, is his finally closed? Is Aaron Rodgers not even a top 5 QB anymore? The numbers might shock you, but we're going to go over that as well. And then finally, to finish this off, we are going to be going over, if you have the first pick in your fantasy football draft, who do you take? It's not McCaffrey. Alright, let's get into this. So Dalvin Cook, let's go over the stats right now. So Dalvin Cook has been in the league since 2017. As a rookie, he really didn't touch the ball all that often, but he made do with his incredible yards per carry. I mean, over his career, he averages a 4.6 yards per carry average, and not only that, last year, his first year, truly healthy, even though I believe he had to be scrapped the last week of the season, he had over 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, averaged 4.5 yards per carry. It was great in the pass game too, had over 53 receptions for 519 yards. Dalvin Cook is somebody who is, to me, he can be a top 5 running back in this league for a long time. But he reminds me a lot of a guy named Todd Gurley, an incredible player, an incredible athlete who just cannot stay healthy. Now, how important is it for a running back in the NFL to stay healthy, for a team to depend on that running back in terms of, this game becoming a passing league? I mean, you have guys on that field, like right now they just drafted Justin Jefferson at LSU. You have Adam Thielen. You have Irv Smith Jr. You have great pass catchers. Kirk Cousins, he can get the job done when he needs to. Let's not talk about the playoffs. But for real, though, in my mind, the Vikings do not need a dominant run attack to make sure that they can stay on top of the league. But Dalvin Cook helps. They also have a guy named Mike Boone who played out of his mind last year for one game. You also have Alexander Madison, who's a great running back who can kind of do the same things that Dalvin Cook can. Nobody is denying the absolute natural talent that Dalvin Cook has, but we have to doubt his ability to stay on the field. If I'm the Minnesota Vikings, I am not paying him $16 million per year. If he truly believes that he can get that somewhere else, that's more power to him, because in my opinion, Dalvin Cook, again, he's an incredible player, incredible running back. You want a guy like that on your team. As an Eagles fan, I would love Dalvin Cook on my team, but is it worth paying somebody $16 million per year, plus you have the signing bonus? Not only that, but that's going against your cap. Now you can't help out your defense, or you can't add another receiver. You can't do this, add an offensive lineman. There's so many things that one player making over $16 million a year prevents the team from doing. And in my opinion, I just don't think that is worth it. I think Dalvin Cook, again, I'm going to keep restating the same thing, but the dude is incredible. He's an absolute baller. I love him to death, but I just don't believe in Dalvin Cook's ability to stay healthy this season. So I just really don't think that he's worth $16 million. Now, we're going to be talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, and it is truly sweeping the nation. It is truly something that needs to be talked about. It's an uncomfortable topic, but it doesn't matter, because things that are uncomfortable need to change. It needs to become the fact that black lives are just being at the subject and just being brutalized by either police brutality or systematic oppression or just gentrification in their neighborhoods. There's just so many different things going on with the black community that we need to stand by them. And Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play this game, he came out with a statement talking about what the flag meant to him and how he does not agree with people who disagree with what the flag stands for, because he comes from a military family background. And he was wrong. I understand that people are allowed to have opinions, but racism does not come at the cost of trying to be who you really are. There's no room for racism in America. Zero. And that is the biggest thing. And Drew Brees admittedly responded against his own comments and realized that he did not understand what the what the movement was really meaning, and like what it really meant, and how the flag, they were not talking about how people were disrespecting the flag in the sense that we were disrespecting the military. No, we were disrespecting what America right now stands for, and that's the comfortability of overjailing black men and women. That is the comfortability of being against black LGBTQ community. That is being against people who are brutalized by the police, like George Floyd, like Breonna Taylor, and so many others. And Drew Brees understood that, and like the leader he is, he came back against his claims, and I just hope that his team can rally with him and understand and be there for him, because he knows that he made a mistake. But now we're going to talk about a different quarterback, and his name is Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick right now would not be a starter in the league. It's flat out simple. I mean, if you watch his last year playing in the NFL, I saw inaccurate passes. I saw not being able to scan the defense down 15 yards past the line of scrimmage. Colin Kaepernick, to me, was a really good running quarterback for that 2012 San Fran team when they had that run to the Super Bowl. And he put on an absolute clinic with the read option against the Green Bay Packers in that NFC, I believe it was the NFC Championship game. And Kaepernick, if you guys remember, he just ran all over them. Clay Matthews looked clueless every single time he thought he was handing off the ball. But in terms of Colin Kaepernick being a backup, absolutely. Is he better than a guy like Luke Falk? Yeah. Is he better than Kyle Allen? Yeah. Is there even games when he's better than Ryan Fitzpatrick? Probably. I think he's better right now than Josh Rosen. I mean, there's so many. Quarterback for the Eagles backup, Clayton Thorson. I mean, what? I would take Kaepernick as a backup over him. Like, what a joke. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many different players in the NFL right now who have a deal and who have a contract who don't deserve it, at least over Colin Kaepernick. Again, guys like Luke Falk and Kyle Allen, and I think Paxton Lynch is still on a team, and you know what I mean? And like, you have guys like EJ Manuel, like Geno Smith is the backup in Seattle right now. Like, Colin Kaepernick is better than all of these quarterbacks, and in terms of being blackballed by the NFL, 100%. I agree that he is. But people who think that Colin Kaepernick should be a starter in the league, absolutely not. You can't even argue that Cam Newton can be a starter right now. I mean, maybe over Jarrett Stidham in New England. I think that Bill Belichick and him could have like a really interesting like thing going on there. But clearly Bill Belichick wants to run with Jarrett Stidham. I mean, we all know that a couple years ago, Bill Belichick really wanted to run with Jimmy Garoppolo, but Robert Kraft and Tom Brady pled and like, please, like, no, like, you need to trade this guy away, he's going to take my job. And Bill Belichick's like, yeah, I know, that's the point. And then there you go, a couple weeks later, he's traded to the Niners, and now the Niners have a young, up-and-coming, possibly could be coming into elite status quarterback in the league in the next couple of years. He has a great head on his shoulders. He doesn't miss throws. He does what he needs to do. He doesn't overdo. He doesn't try to do too much. He doesn't think that he's better than he is, and that's what makes him great. When you understand your talent and you understand your ability and you don't try to overdo it, that's when I believe that you can be a great player in the league, because you're not trying to overcompensate for anything. You know who you are as a player, and that is what it's important. So, like I said, does Cap deserve to be in the league? I think he does. I think Colin Kaepernick deserves to be in the NFL as a backup. I don't believe that he could be a starter on any NFL team right now. You want to talk about the Chargers with Justin Herbert and Tyrod Taylor? I think they're both better than Colin Kaepernick. Mahomes, not a doubt. Derek Carr, maybe that's a conversation to have, but maybe having him as Derek Carr's backup and then fighting for a starting position, that's a completely different story. I do believe that Colin Kaepernick right now at this age deserves to be in the NFL. Plain and simple. So right now we're going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in terms of where they are as a franchise right now. Clearly Matt LaFleur, we thought that was going to work out, but Aaron Rodgers, I think he's just more of the problem than it ever really has been. A lot of people wanted to blame Mike McCarthy. A lot of people wanted to blame the stagnant offense and the inability to change and the inability to try to progress as an organization and not drafting skill players. Aaron Rodgers said before the draft, a couple weeks before the draft when it happened, that it would be really cool if they took a running back or a wide receiver or a tight end in the first round. Of course, they did not elect to do that. Not only did they not elect to do that, they traded up to take his replacement. Talk about bad blood. Talk about betrayal. Talk about giving your all to an organization. Talk about being the most elite quarterback to have ever played. And that's what they give you. Nothing. You could talk about when he had Eddie Late, Cheeseburger Eddie for 1 year, or how right now he has Alan Lazard and Geronimo Allison and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. We're talking about practice squad receivers. We're talking about Philadelphia Eagles level wide receivers. Right now you got another running mate in Aaron Jones. Dude is a stud. He proved it last year. They have a competent backup. The Packers they just need a weapon or two, and Aaron Rodgers could look elite again, but is it too late? Aaron Rodgers, it has to be high 30s right now, you know what I mean? So Aaron Rodgers is age 36 right now. Last year threw for over 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. 4.5 touchdowns to every interception. It's unbelievable. The year before that, 4,400 yards, 25 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. The year before that, in 2017, when he got hurt, 16 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. The year before that, 40 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. He is the highest quarterback rating in NFL history right now. He has the highest touchdown to interception ratio in NFL history. And you want to talk about somebody who's never been given a fair shake at it. Yes, he brought them a Super Bowl, but their defense was absolutely elite. And they had guys like Greg Jennings and Donald Driver by their side. You know what I mean? They had so much talent. And since that Super Bowl year, what have they really surrounded him with? They tried to give him Jimmy Graham. That didn't go that great. He had Jared Cook for a year. That was okay. You know what I mean? But Devontae Adams, I know I haven't mentioned his name yet. Yes, he is an unbelievable wide receiver. But you can't have just one guy. You know what I mean? That offensive line that's been there for years, they're aging. They're aging, not aging. But David Bakhtiari has been his left tackle for years. You know what I mean? He's not getting any younger. You know what I mean? I think the window on the Packers is finally closed. At least Aaron Rodgers-led Green Bay Packers. I think Jordan Love is an absolute stud, and I hope Matt LaFleur and him mesh. I hope that Matt LaFleur gives him the help that they need, and I hope that they don't follow in the footsteps that they have been for the last 15 years with Aaron Rodgers. That's what I'm hoping for. But I do think that Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, they will never see another Super Bowl again. And I can't wait to look at this episode next February to watch the Packers in the Super Bowl, and I can laugh at myself when I'm wrong. But I'm telling you right now, as of Tuesday, June 9th, 2020, the Green Bay Packers, led by Aaron Rodgers, will never be in the Super Bowl again. That's what I believe. And now, my favorite part of the episode, it is the final portion of this episode. It's going to be a shorter one. We're trying out the video. I want to know if you guys are liking it, if you're feeling it, maybe if, we should go back to audio. But I'm really digging the setup that I have right now, so just let me know what you like. But who should be the number one pick in fantasy football this year? Let's say you. Yeah, you. You have the number one pick this year in your league with your friends or your family or whoever you play with, your work. And you want to win this year, you know what I mean? Maybe you have the first pick because you kind of stunk last year. Maybe you couldn't keep up. Maybe you didn't have a great draft, you know what I mean? Your team got injured. Whatever the case may be, you finished last in your league. You have the number one pick. Who do you take? There's one answer. It's Saquon Barkley. And here is why it's not Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, listen, if I have the second pick and someone takes Saquon, I'm taking Christian McCaffrey 100%. But Saquon Barkley should be the number one pick because he is the best running back in football. There is nobody who can do what he does more often. Nobody has his breakaway speed. Nobody can truck through a defender while spinning and juking them out at the same time. Nobody can catch the ball out of the backfield just like him. Christian McCaffrey, yes, is the best pass-catching running back in football, but Saquon has what Christian McCaffrey doesn't. Saquon can take it through the tackles. Saquon can break a 95-yard run on a stretch. He can do literally everything you need a running back to do and better. He is the number one best running back in the league, and he is going to prove it this year with Daniel Jones by his side, handing him the ball, I hope, almost 300 times. As an Eagles fan, I'd like to keep him to negative yards the 2 games we play against him, but every other game, if I have the number 1 pick, I'm taking Saquon. I hope Saquon crushes him for 200 because I think he will. I think Saquon is going to lead the league in yards per game. I think he'll lead the league in yards per attempt. I don't know if he'll lead the league in touchdowns, you know what I mean? Because guys like Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook even have a nose for it, and McCaffrey again in there also catching the ball as well. But I don't think anybody realizes how good Saquon Barkley is going to be this year, and I want you guys to be ahead of the curve. But in terms of draft strategy, I've been saying this for years. I have been playing fantasy football. I'm 21 years old. I've been playing for 9 years. This will be my 9th year playing fantasy football. I started playing when I was 12. And there's something I've always done that has given me such success in this almost decade of playing this fake game with a real game. And it's going robust RB. Meaning, I'm talking in the first 3 to 4 rounds, you better have 3 running backs. Why? Why is that? Because there's so few elite running backs in the league that basically past round 5, if you only have 1 running back, you're a goner. Trust me, there's no foul or harm in taking a guy like DeAndre Hopkins or Michael Thomas even. Or even if it's the 2nd round and you got Mahomes or Lamar Jackson available, please, by all means, this is the one exception, take them. If it's round 2 and you're up and Lamar or Mahomes is available, you take them, okay? Because they're more valuable than any running back, honestly, other than Christian McCaffrey. But if I have, let's say I'm in a 10-man league and I have the 4th pick, right? I'm going David Johnson. Then I'm going Todd Gurley. Then I'm going, if Todd Gurley is available, but Derrick Henry's available, I'm taking Derrick Henry. But if it's between a guy like Gurley or Chubb, take Gurley. Here's why. Todd Gurley is 100% healthy this season. Todd Gurley will be the focal point of the Atlanta Falcons offense, as Julio Jones is incredible still, but aging. But Nick Chubb is in a committee with Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is a more talented running back than Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt, I think, might get the bulk load of the carries compared to Nick Chubb this year because I think he's just a better player. So that's why I'm going robust RB. Not only that, do not take any running back in a committee. And that includes Marlon Mack, that includes Nick Chubb, that includes, sadly, Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders is poised for a big year, but if we sign Devonta Freeman, like reports say that we're going to, then I would stay away from Miles Sanders unless it's like a late round, like 9th, 10th round pick if he falls that far in your draft, which he shouldn't, but if he does, that's when I would take him. But I would stay away from wide receiver for at least the first 4 rounds because the drop-off between the number 1 ranked and number 10 ranked wide receivers last year in fantasy football compared to 11 to 20, it's about a 3 to 4 point per game drop-off. I mean, you look at that, that's unbelievable on how many talented wide receivers there are on the league. But then if you look from ranked 1 running back to ranked number 10 compared to 11 through 20, it's about a 6 to 7 point per game drop off. That is pretty huge, and it really proves my point on how there aren't a lot of incredible running backs in the league, at least fantasy value wise. So that's why you have to go heavy running back, okay? You have to. If you have any tips, if you have any things that you want to let me know, leave them in the comments. Please don't forget to like, comment, share with your friends, share with your fellow sports fans if you appreciate my takes on the world of sports. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you are excited for more videos like this. And again, you can also reach my podcast. It will soon be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Don't get me wrong, I'm in the process of getting it there right now. So you will also be able to listen to the audio version of this podcast on those two platforms. I was previously on SoundCloud, but I've since moved over here now to YouTube, which is where I will stay. And thank you guys so much for checking it out. And I'll see you guys next one. You have a wonderful day.